Nikki Haley so feared that other UN reps are afraid she'll yell at them. One of the biggest and brightest stars to emerge out of President Donald Trump's administration has been Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Haley has gone into the heart of the anti-American beast and called them out, to their faces, for their anti-American agendas, while they gladly collect billions in funding from U.S. taxpayers, as well as for the organization's incessant and overt bias against Israel, one of America's closest allies. According to the Independent Journal Review, Haley was recently honored for the work she has done thus far representing American interests and Trump's agenda in the UN, as well as for her staunch defense in that body on behalf of Israel, for which she received the John Kirkpatrick Award from the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. The ambassador spoke about the Israel bashing she has witnessed and confronted, and noted that other ambassadors have grown to fear her and have ceased their attacks on Israel, as they don't want Haley to yell at them. I knew that there was a bias against Israel, but I hadn't really put a lot of thought into it until I attended the first session, Haley said of the UN General Assembly. And when I saw, literally, how abusive all of those countries were being to Israel, in a way that was pathetic, really, I had no choice but to get up and say this is completely wrong, she continued. It's like that kid in the schoolyard that gets bullied, and everybody is bullying the kid because they think it makes them stronger, Haley said of Israel. I wasn't gonna stand for that. So I came out and said we are not going to condone this anti-Israel bias. We started to make sure the Israel bashing sessions, as I call them, that they had once a month, we now try and talk about. There's supposed to be sessions on the Middle East, not sessions on Israel, and so now we are actually making them talk about other areas in the Middle East, she said. And so we are starting to do those things, and now, frankly, they are scared to say anything negative about Israel, because they don't want me to yell at them, she added with a chuckle. That is pretty funny, and while it is unclear if Haley has ever actually yelled at any of the other ambassadors at the UN, it isn't that difficult of a picture to imagine, as she can be exceptionally fiery and tenacious and as tough as nails when necessary. While Haley's toughness in the face of the UN's overt anti-Israel bias has earned our Israeli allies a brief respite from the monthly dogpile they endured in the General Assembly, not to mention the plethora of anti-Israel pronouncements and resolutions to come from various committees and, at times, the Security Council, she has also been fighting valiantly on behalf of American interests and the America First agenda in the international body as well. One aspect of that is her work thus far in saving money for U.S. taxpayers by defunding the foreign aid America grants on an annual basis to other countries that work against our own interests or have populations that quite literally hate us. Indeed, Haley spoke on the topic at that same event and said, the countries that we give money to, do they believe what we believe? Are they still actually wanting to be our partner and work with us? If they're not and they're shouting death to America, why would we give them a single penny? She asked. And so, you are seeing those efforts of defunding those things that are not helpful to us and that aren't in the United States' interests. Ambassador Nikki Haley is an absolute rock star in Trump's administration and has been scoring substantial wins with regard to America's interests, as well as for the interests of our nation's closest ally.